All right, so we are going to continue today. After a very long time pause, we will continue talking about the devil in the relationship. So today's talk, we're just going to learn a little bit more. How come relationships kind of go sour? They can go south, whatever you want to call it. They can go rough. They can go challenged. The fun is at the beginning and then it fades away. So what do you guys think? What could be what we can refer to as the devil in the relationship that is ruining the relationship? What could be some examples of that? Let's call it the face of the devil in the relationship, or the faces of the devil in the relationship. How does it come across? What would be causing it? What? Comparing what to what? Comparing my relationship with my whoever to someone else. Comparing my relationship with my father towards my father's relationship with my brother, with my sister, with my and the same thing for friends. How they oh yeah, they started pointing at you. It's like, how come you're close to this person? Why not me? Why do I smell? Do I right? I mean, they start talking like that, and you're like thinking, where did that come from? So what causes all that? The devil. So we need to continue. We need to continue with more examples. What other examples that could be, like can severely impact a happy relationship? It could be your spouse, could be your fiance. They're like preparing for the wedding and all of a sudden everything just crumbles. How?
When one tries to be alpha.
One's tried to be alpha. And the second one? Oh, so it'd be demanding. Be the man. The man in the relationship. Why is it clipping? I feel like the video is not, it's not a strong connection today. No. And you owe me one. We can talk more about that. This is a devil now in this relationship, isn't it? So what could be other things that could be causing the relationship between two people that could take another face? Comparison. What else?
The relationship no longer value maybe one of the
But what would cause it to be no longer value? Insecurity. So that's another phase that can phase out the relationship, which is the feel of insecurity in the relationship, right? Where did that come from? The devil. So what is causing that? It could be internal, that I just feel insecure, but it's not really an insecure connection, and it's just my partner or my parent or my son, they have a really good connection, but in my mind I feel insecure connection with this person. Like your friend, you were saying, like some friends, they come and ask you, how come you're close with this person but you're not close to me? They see that insecurity from their side, but from your side you feel like, whoa, where did that come from? I feel like we're in good shape.
I feel like everyone is equal.
Yeah. You don't see that coming. All of a sudden they feel like, whoa. But that could be internal. It's not like something you're doing. So that's a different story. But it's also the influence of the other person that does something that come across as threatening to the relationship, like infidelity, cheating, flirting with other people. So that can come across as threatening to the other relationship. And not only that, also favoritism. If the parent favored one child versus the other, if the child favored one parent versus the other. I mean, if your child favored you over your spouse, or favored your spouse over you, don't take it personal. They're still really trying to figure out, especially if they're really young. It's not like they are really favoring them. They're just in a phase that they feel connected more to one versus the other. So some parents, they get offended by that. It's like, how come you love your dad, you don't love me, and you love your mom more than you love me? So these are the things that we need to be mindful of from a parental point of view. So we talked about comparison. We talked about favoritism, insecurity, What else? How about influenced? External influence. You should.
They say that the boyfriend is not good enough.
Yeah, they see some certain trait. It's like, oh, you don't let him or don't let her talk to you like that. Yeah, you just go find another person. Or you better tell him or tell her where to, stop and build those round boundaries and all that. But that's not necessarily going to be helpful because they don't understand what is happening. But also what makes it even more difficult is that you, as a receiving of that influence, you also don't know what's happening. So you feel like you just need to fix it. And if you don't even know what's going on, you end up basically fixing something that is not broken, or you would be fixing something. So therefore, it's important for you to understand what is the problem in the situation, in the relationship, that is causing the situation to be where it is at the moment. So the influence can be from a friend, can be from parents, can be from what? Can be from movies, can be from social media. People going out and you haven't gone out since you got married 60,000 years ago, or since you start dating. Getting gifts, you see that on social media a lot. Flowers, roses, rings, cookies, candies, whatever the case might be. And and not having that and seeing other people have it, it could be also a relative, that can influence, that can bring in a lot of shoulds in the relationship. So the relationship can be easily challenged because it has so many different factors, external factors, as well as internal factors. What could be something that any person can do that would help the relationship? What can we do to help any relationship? Oh my goodness, that's somebody's been listening. Yes, you communicate. We communicate. Now the thing is that everybody thinks that we can communicate, but actually it's not that easy. It's not that easy to communicate, because especially when there are so many emotions to manage, emotions to deal with. And if there are emotions to deal with, it's going to block the message from going across in the communication. So the communication itself, it needs to have a certain structure, certain skill in order for it to be effective. Otherwise, it come across as whining, as criticizing, as sarcastic. How many times you've heard someone was not happy with you and they just to be sarcastic with you, and they don't really express what's bothering them. They just be sarcastic. So sarcasm is not going to help. If I'm sarcastic towards the other partner, and what do you think the partner or the friend would feel?
They'll be sarcastic.
They'd be sarcastic. They'd be offended. They were like, where did this come from? Why are you making fun of me all of a sudden, or making fun of that, or me? So it's not going to help the relationship, definitely. So therefore, when we communicate, we need to understand that there is a third person between me and the other person, which is called relationship. Relationship needs to be happy. If that communication is not going to help the relationship, it's not going to help the relationship. Simple. Communication needs to have a proper, as I mentioned, proper structure. So do you think more work on the speaker that needs to be specific and elegant, or is it more work on the listener? Both sides. Yeah, I would like to argue that it's more work on the listener. The listener has more work to do to nurture that connection, to nurture that communication.
This kind of thing, like it could be the other partner lah.
Like that, yeah. Like if I have my friends tell me, "Oh, Amar, you're not spending time with us, and you're spending it with the other person," if I get defensive, they're not gonna come and talk to me again. It's like, no, I am spending as much as everybody, but that's defensive. That's not gonna help the relationship. That's not gonna help the communication, let alone to help the relationship. So they started talking, but the fact that I responded that way, I'm not listening. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was saying. A lot of us think that we know how to communicate, but but actually it's a skill that we all must learn. We all must learn. And I will be posting free seminars on how to communicate with your spouse, with your child, and how to build relationships. Check our videos, and I'll be launching a few free webinars coming up soon, this month, January 2024. And every month we will have free seminars and webinars, actually, not seminars, but webinars. And I'll be posting the links under these videos. Put your questions, and I'll be more than happy to address them and respond to them as they come in. As I mentioned, the most important thing is communication. Learning how to communicate is very important. It's not something that I would like to just dump information. I would rather have this to be practiced, and I'll be more than happy to show you some examples in the webinar. And I look forward to seeing you all there. And until then, stay happy.